Hi guys, I just thought I'd make this video to show you how to get started on the investigation for polynomials, and particularly about how to, some just tips on how to draw the graph and get it into a Word document, which will make life a lot easier. So I just thought I'd start with bringing up the assignment sheet here. So remember, in part A, what you're going to be doing is looking at some polynomials that have four linear factors that are all different from each other, and then potentially some value at the front, which we call A. And then what you're going to do is you're going to plot at least three of these, and then you're going to list the roots, the number of turning points, and the number of inflection points as well. And you also need to give the graph. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to basically open up this assignment sheet, which you can get from the daymap task. So if you're on daymap, you can download the assignment sheet. And to keep things really simple, I'm just going to start by copying that table, and then pasting it into a new document in Microsoft Word. And what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to go up to page layout here, change the orientation to landscape, so that we've got a bit more width because it's quite a wide table. I'm also going to change the margins to narrow because then I can fit a bit more in width-wise, because the graph tends to take up a lot of room. And then I'm going to grab the bottom corner of the table and stretch that right out to take up as much of the page as we can. Just adjust this. Okay, so we're just trying to set this table up. I'm going to make these a little bit smaller because they're only going to have a number in them, so they don't need to be very big. What we do need space for is the function, because that's quite long, and also the graph. Okay, so let's go over to our web browser here, and we're going to go into Desmos. So you should have all seen Desmos before. It's an online tool for drawing graphs. The address is up the top there, so it's desmos.com/calculator. And what we're going to do is we're going to put in one of these polynomials. So I'm just going to make one up. So y equals 3 times x take 4, x take 2, x plus 1, x plus 5. Okay, so straight away you can see a little bit of an issue here. When we look at this polynomial, it's going up and down, and it's going up and down so far that we can't see the top and the bottom. So what we can do is we can zoom out, and that's all well and good, but by the time we've zoomed out enough to see the top and the bottom of the graph, it's very, very thin. What do we do? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this little settings spanner icon up in the top right corner there. And then I'm going to come down to the x-axis here, and I'm just going to adjust these values. So you'll see here, it's automatically just gone from -1,000 to +1,000. But if I think, well, my zeros should be like 4, 2, -1, and -5, I should be able to come much, much closer in on the x-axis. So let's go from, say, -10 to +10, and straight away you can see that we can see a lot more of the graph there. I can also adjust the y-axis, so if I have a look here, -500 sort of the bottom, so we'll go to -500, and maybe we'll go to +500 as well. This, by the way, is exactly the same as when you adjust the view window on your graphics calculator. Okay, so if we just close that settings, now we can see the graph a lot nicer. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to press the print screen button on my computer. You can't see that, but I'm pressing the print screen button, and I'm going to come back over into Word. So the first thing I'm going to do is just click in this graph box and paste that in. Now it's going to paste the entire screen because I've done a print screen. So what I'm going to do is click on that. Up the top here, you've got picture tools. I'm going to click on format, and then I'm going to click on this button that says crop. And I'll just move my face out of the way. Now when you click crop, you'll see these little black bars come up. I'm going to click and drag those bars in so that all we're looking at are the important bits of the graph. Okay. Now I've actually print screened and got my face in there, so just ignore that because obviously you won't have that issue. And then after I've done that, I'm just going to click crop, and that chops the graph down to a much more manageable state. So the next thing I need to do is enter in the function over here. So I'm going to do that using the equation editor in Word. So if I click on Insert and then click Equation, I'm going to type it in. So it was y equals, I might just need to flick back, 3 times x take 4 times x take 2 x plus 1 x plus 5. I would suggest writing that down so you don't have to flick back and forth. And I'm just going to bring this part in so we've got as much space as possible. Okay, so then I'm going to list my roots. Now you guys know that the roots of this equation are the values of x that will make the whole thing 0. And we know that we can get those quite easily by looking at the factors there. So in this case, the factor x take 4 gives me a root of positive 4. X take 2 gives me a root of 2. X plus 1 gives me a root of negative 1. And x plus 5 gives me a root of negative 5. Now we need to look at turning points. So let's look at our graph. Well, we've got a turning point down here where it's turned from going down to up. Another turning point here where it was going up and now it's going down. And then one more where it was going down and now it's going up. So we've got 3 turning points. Now we need to think about points of inflection. So remember, points of inflection are where it changes from being concave up to concave down, or concave down to concave up. So basically where it's changing from being happy face to a sad face, or sad face to happy face. So let's have a look. Well, here it's concave up the whole way, and somewhere around here it changes to being concave down. So that's 1. It's concave down, and then here it changes to being concave up again. And then it's concave up for the remainder of the graph. So there are 2 points of inflection in this case. Okay, and that's all you need to do for one graph. So you'll get very, very quick at this as you move along. If I was going to keep going now, I would just go up to Table Layout, click Insert Below to get a new row, and then I'd repeat the whole process again with a new polynomial. Okay, I hope that helps you get started. Don't forget you're obviously going to be writing an introduction and a discussion section for your investigation, but this will just get you started with all of the graphing. Thanks very much for watching, and let me know if you need any other help with this.